Welcome to BeerNet Radio. Listen to on every continent except Antarctica. B-E-E-R-R-N-E-T.
Beer.
BeerNet Radio.
Have a show without its star.
Sorry about that.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. This pod brought to you by Coke and Monster. And
Right. I mean, they're all the same company.
They're all the same.
I mean, shit. I mean, that's what a great segue. Because, hi, Hannah.
Hey.
I'm still without internet, so yeah, I'm in a bar with internet. Well, it's a Mexican restaurant, but you know,
A cantina.
yeah.
Cantina.
I'm in a cantina, which is funny because I'm not even on their internet. I'm on Myron Steakhouse, which is next door. They're not open yet, but their internet's better, so I just logged in.
Oh, that's funny.
Whatever works.
Yeah, you damn right. Hey, I don't know if y'all have listened or watched the podcast that I published yesterday, but we have intro music.
Oh,
I haven't listened to it.
You might want to check it out. It's kind of obnoxious. I've got about 3 of them. I have different versions, and the guy that does it for me is a radio guy in Austin. They're silly. And hello, Sarah. Sarah's looking pissed off.
Connecting. She's doing important stuff, Harry.
I know.
It's not my fault. I have resting bitch face, okay? In fact, I prefer it.
I have acting asshole face, so I don't know which is worse.
Oh, it's good.
That's as usual, waiting on Jordan. There should be somebody should write a play, Waiting on Jordan.
Waiting for Godot. I'm pretty sure he's in the waiting room and you just haven't let him in yet. I'm 100% positive that's what's going on here.
He's done. He's not up there. He is the little. Oh, hey, Jordan. We've been on this call since 12:30. Glad you could join us.
Were you talking to me?
Yes, we have been on this. We're finishing up.
Jordan's like, sweet.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding. You're exactly on time. But anyway, welcome to BeerNet Radio. I thought we just have the editors on today and grok a little bit. How about that? Catch me outside. I've got editors Jenn Kirk. I've got Hannah Kruger. I've got Sarah Barrett. And I've not last and least Jordan Drigals. And of course, my name, everybody knows, Harry Shoemaker. First, I wanted to talk about I love MONarchy. That's great bullshit. Whoever thought of that. I thought of Monster Blues.
Monster Blues is good too.
Those are both really good.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So, Jordan, let's start with you since you're the only one who was late to the podcast. Tell me what, because I think I was focused on kind of the wrong thing when I first, heard about it. I was like, why? There's no synergies. I'm thinking like a Wall Street. There are no synergies, obviously, but that's not the reason this happened. And so I just wanted to kind of talk about why did this happen? And what are your thoughts, Jordan?
Well, Monster has been trying to get into bev-alc for a while, and I think they were trying to do it on their own for, the past couple of years. And I just don't think they came up with anything or saw anything that made sense for them. And CANArchy, it seems like they got, quite a bit of capacity and brands, some good brands, Oscar Blues and Cigar City, for the cheap. I mean, 330 million is not that much money for what they got. So
$6.50 a barrel, which is it's more than recent deals, but a lot less than deals that happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, what did Tilray purchase Sweetwater for? Something I think in the same
like
neighborhood.
5 million. Oh,
Yeah.
not Sweetwater. I'm talking about Green Flash. Sorry.
Oh yeah, but no, Tilray purchased Sweetwater, I think, for 300 something million, and Sweetwater is big, but it doesn't have the breadth that CANArchy has. So they got a pretty good deal. They want to kind of do everything in bev-alc. It sounds like they only get brewing with this, beers and hard seltzer, but it opens the door for them to give bev-alc a shot. I don't know if they're going to be any good at it. I don't know if they can do anything to CANArchy to, make it grow any faster than it was.
Or
I don't know
any faster than it has, don't you mean?
Yeah, I don't know what they bring to the table besides marketing dollars and supply chain issues, helping out with supply chain issues. But
I tell you what they brought to the table was the 350 million, which is, I mean, that's all it's like 10% of their cash on hand, and it's about as much cash as they generate in a quarter.
Nuts. I don't know what's going on with my computer.
It's the supply chain, Jen, and coronavirus. So Jen, what's your takeaway from this
I agree with Jordan a lot, but I was racking my brain like, this is ridiculous. And by the way, like I've been asking some distributors about all of these soda deals and what they think, and they're like, why, right? I don't think any of the distributors at this point are sold on it yet. It looks like spaghetti at the wall. And then I thought like, why not buy something functional? You're a Monster. Why don't you buy something that's cooler than craft, right? Because craft is kind of like energy is growing a lot faster than craft right now. But kind of to Jordan's point, what they're buying, and I sound like an analyst here, is optionality, right? They have 7 manufacturing facilities across the country. They can make tea if they want to make tea. They can make seltzer if they want to make seltzer. They can make anything. And they're buying optionality on the cheap. I wonder, like, with Pepsi's Blue Cloud and all that stuff, it's interesting that this deal happens a couple months after Pepsi's Blue Cloud, was announced. Is there any way that Coke could do that? Could this be some sort of part, or would that violate 3-tier, right? Like, so Pepsi kept the production separate with, bringing Boston into the production. So then the distribution is separate, but like, does it matter that Coke owns part of Monster, which owns CANArchy, and that would make it vertically integrated if the bev-alc were to go on the Coke bottlers trucks, right? I mean, so that's
okay. So
right?
Jen, I think you're onto something. I think that they did not consult Coke at all about this. That this is a FU. It's telling Coke, hey, we have options. Hey, buddy, we're on Coke truck right now, but now we have a beer distribution network. To me, the 350 million was
Get off the pot.
It was for distribution. It has nothing to do with Cigar City or Oscar Blues. They don't care if those brands grow or not.
No. They don't care about the craft beer side.
Yeah. No, they have the licenses to make stuff, and they have the distribution network. And that they can throw their own Monster seltzer through. It's not going to be called Monster, obviously, but whatever they come up with. And like I said, 350 million is
no, it's nothing.
It's a drop in the pan. Why is Monster so big that 350 is nothing to them? I mean, it's unbelievable that CANArchy is like tiny compared to Monster, but that's the world we live in. And I think this is access to distribution. I think that's a big part of this. And it's also, hey, Coke, we have a love-hate relationship, mostly hate. And how about you cash me outside?
Yeah.
Because distribution is where the game is. And now we have alternatives if we need it.
But also Rodney and Hilton aren't getting any younger, right? For them to buy something at this point, it's kind of like Coke make the whole purchase, right? Because we have other alternatives.
I think they like being independent, and this is kind of like your teenage daughter asserting her independence when you give her a car,
or your geriatric dad saying, "Get me out of this home." I don't know. I mean, that's not funny. But the other thing too is, what about? Are there any? I'm sure there are. Maybe there aren't. CANArchy distributors who were Monster distributors and are pissed because they got Monster taken away from them when the Coke deal happened, right? And now they're going to be aligned with Monster again. Does that piss them off? Or are there distributors like that out there? I don't know. Maybe there probably are.
I mean, those are AB distributors. And I think those feelings have subsided at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's pissed off anymore. I think it's more like, hey, I'd love to get the brand back. What do I have to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, look at Bang when they launched their alcoholic product, all the distributors took them back on again. And that's just for Bang. For Bang.
Yeah,
Or
Bang,
Bang.
cash me
Yeah.
outside. Jack, you
But,
should have
yeah.
answered my calls.
They
You
said
should be at our summit.
they said that CANArchy's distribution network is 30% AB, 50% Molson Coors, and the rest are independent. So it's a hodgepodge, but we'll
Does
see.
anybody
Still a backup.
Yeah, no, I know there's three-tier concerns here. And like you said, there's no synergies that we see. But what precludes them from down the line putting all of the stuff on the same truck? Right?
Well, I mean, I think that's the game, the end game. And it just kind of depends whether that's going to be a beer truck or a Coke truck or a Pepsi truck.
Right.
And I think that's what everybody's gunning for. That's the kind of whole theme of this last year in the summit that we are still having in person, by the way, as of today. It's a race for the cold box, and the cola, the non-out guys, and the Pepsi and the spirits guys, and everybody's discovered that's the valuable real estate at retail, and how do we get there? And I think that's everybody's buying. Like I think Uinta, I keep saying it wrong.
Uinta.
Okay, thank you. The Uinta U.S. beverage deal is exactly the same reason, just a different level. I think it's access to distribution, and the craft brewers need the money. They need the cash, and these other people need their production and their license, and
I will say, when there are so many more deals and products and everything angled at the cold box, right? And yet I don't think retailers have vastly expanded the cold box, at least not commensurate with that at that pace. So what does that say about what the retailers think about how many viable products should be in the cold box, right? Like there's way too many products for it.
It's the beer buyers at the chains are going to now have more people calling on them, and I know they think that sucks, because that's we want less people, not more. But you still have to play the game, and you got to get the assortment right. As Tom Fox would say, it's all about assortment, and that's a hard algo to listen to me. Look at it's a hard meta algo to blockchain. I'm just throwing out buzzwords at this point. But yeah, it's a shit show and a free for all, and it's fun. I think we're going to see more such deals, and I think it's a godsend to some of these craft brewers who they saw no way out because their trends are down, and they still, some still have debts. They have whatever they have. It's not fun out there right now, and this is kind of a way out. It's I would liken it to.
Well, if your theory is right, Harry, and it's really just all about distribution, then there's not a whole lot of craft brewers that have national distribution out there.
Right.
So the regionals are still sunk, and they said that on the call yesterday, that they looked at a lot of potential acquisitions. They saw a bunch of regionals that were up for sale, and it didn't serve the need they had, and it was all about someone that had national presence. So I think you maybe onto something about the distribution side of things, but really not that many craft brewers that have
and I
presence
think
in all 50 states.
Right. And I think sadly, like we talked about, with Jeremy yesterday, is I think we're going to see a lot of them just having to close because they don't have distribution. Nobody needs capacity right now. Okay. I mean, maybe if you're a monster, you do because you don't have any, but there's a glut of brewing capacity at least, and distribution is valuable. Chain relationships are valuable. If you have an e-commerce robust direct to consumer business, that's valuable. And so that's a good pivot. Let's talk about distribution and wine spirit side. Let's talk about this major brand deal, and we kind of saw that coming, right? I mean, Sue McCullum, she's been involved with lawsuits with Diageo and some of her Cardi, some of her major suppliers, which she largely won, if I remember correctly. And it was it's hard to be a regional independent wine and spirits distributor these days. Am I right?
Sure. I mean, when you have to compete with such, behemoths like Southern and RNDC, sure. And with suppliers consolidating their footprints increasingly in the last several years, I would argue, I guess, Bacardi kind of kicked off that, what's that, like 2017, I think, 2016 maybe. But yeah, so this breakthrough deal with major brands. So they already or Sue at least had a relationship with the Writz family, which is of course part of the breakthrough leadership.
Breakthrough. And can you, just because I'm ignorant, I know that Writz is a major, owner or stockholder of Breakthru because that was part of that merger. And then, but Sue also had another deal just with Writz, right? And not Breakthru. And then now it's Breakthru. So what is there, do you have any understanding of how that is working it?
They didn't mention that too much about it. But come to the summit and Tom Benet will talk about it.
Damn right.
Little plug there. No, they didn't mention too much about it. I mean, not to put words in Sue's mouth, but it seems like she's trying to refocus her own efforts elsewhere. I think when she divested her ownership shares to the Writz family, she mentioned wanting to focus on her philanthropic efforts instead, kind of transitioning what she's doing. And so I would think with a tie-up with the Writz family, that the being bought by Breakthru would be kind of a natural next step. And
I think I think we'll see more. I mean, there's not a lot of them out there left. I thought it was hilarious that, I think people think we collaborate a lot more than we do, because I was looking over your 2022 predictions, and one of my predictions was that cannabis is going to be descheduled this year, and you said it's absolutely not going to happen this year. And I actually, after reading yours, I think you're probably right. I mean,
yeah, that was a little bit on purpose. I was already thinking about it, and then I was like, oh, we need a cannabis prediction, and it's like, oh, I actually think the opposite of this, so I'm going to put that.
I like that. I like that we're competing. That keeps they say to eat your own dog food. I think you're probably right. I forgot about the midterm.
Yeah, that derails so much. Like all they'll pass through probably is whatever budgetary things they have to pass. Anything else is just not going to happen.
I think we need to start putting names next to the predictions. That's what I want to do next year. I want my predictions with my name on them, and I want your predictions with your name on them.
Hey, I like
and
that
Jordan's
idea.
with his, of course.
I like that idea because I killed some of your predictions that I think that you had your heart behind or thought are going to get true, and that's probably not right, because maybe we should just have our own little section.
Why would you kill my predictions, Harry?
I killed a couple of your predictions because I thought they were wrong, Jen.
Wow. But that's not what predictions are about. Some of your predictions are probably wrong.
No, all of them probably are, but I'm a controlling asshole, and there's no other way to put it. But I'm working on that, and that's I think that's a great idea. I think we should just own them next year, and because the older I get, the worse I am at it, honestly.
I was telling Harry, for predictions we have to meet up and do it. I think for the next round, we should have like 5 solid predictions that we're pretty high on and come to the table. It goes a lot easier if you can bounce them off of each other and then kind of tweak them together.
Yeah, but then you lose something. I think we should have separate predictions and then we should have total predictions. Like maybe we
how
do
about this?
5 together and then different. Because there are things that I completely disagree with you guys.
No.
on.
I'm saying
Things that I completely agree.
bring
Right.
5 of your own to the table.
Yeah.
Which one do you disagree with? This is where people love to listen. This is why we get the big
Oh,
numbers.
I mean, I have to go back through, but the cannabis descheduled this year, I agree with Sarah. Like that's a long shot, right? Like
When it
but I have to
happens,
go
I'm
back
gonna,
through.
I don't think
Huh?
anything's happening on cannabis for a
No,
while.
couple years. But last year, I mean, just off the top, because last year, I mean, most of what's in the doc is at least partly what I had written because I wrote first, right? So there's none that I completely disagree with this year. Some that I'm like, but there are some that got killed that I guarantee you will come true. Well, I think you guys actually predicted that Monster wasn't going to get into bev-alc, and I disagreed with that, and here we are. Right?
No, we
I
said
thought-
we said Red Bull was.
Yeah,
Oh, it
we
was
into
Red
Bev-alc.
Bull. Okay.
yeah, and
okay.
I stand by that. I actually
Yeah.
think we said that Monster is getting into alcohol, didn't we, Jordan?
I don't think so.
I don't know if we specifically called out Monster, but the only one that we said would not is Red Bull.
Okay. Well, I think I disagree with that too, actually. I mean, if we've learned anything is that nothing's off the table and people are operating by FOMO right now, right?
I
Companies
think-
are operating via FOMO.
You would know, and I think you're right. I think I nothing's off the table. I think anything is not surprising at this point. And the one Reyes is going to enter Texas, and you might be right there. I don't know, but I just don't see any distributors I know. I don't think they're actively for sale. So.
In the next 3 years, I'm not saying 100%, but they could buy. There's a couple I can think of that match their portfolio pretty well.
Let's not mention them.
I won't mention them.
Okay.
I won't mention them.
I don't want to.
But there's no way they don't want to be in Texas, right?
Oh,
With
for sure.
the demographics and the volumes and
It's just hard because a lot, some of the AB distributors have Modelo and
Right.
Mike's here.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't think, maybe they can't be an AB distributor. I know they've been in talks before. I mean, that's what like you said, Jen, everything's on the table. We just, all these old conventions that we kind of
Right.
thought are
Well,
true.
no, but there are some sizable Molson Coors distributors in the state, sizable, that match their portfolio.
Sure. Absolutely. We're not going to name them, but yeah. All right.
Not gonna name them.
All right. Last topic. This is something I've been trying to tackle all week, and I've gotten distracted by other things. But we are going to write about the efforts by the spirits guys to equivalize RTDs, spirit-based RTDs, for both access and tax equivalency. And they've gotten a little traction. They lost New Jersey, but that was mainly because of a regime change that had very little to do with the actual arguments or the lobbying. So like Sarah or Hannah, what do you guys see on that front? And because that was one of your predictions, was that that's going to be a full court press going forward this year, state by state.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know Discus is very strong when it comes to their legislative efforts. And what I've been hearing that is a strength, and this was on the spirits DTC side as well, was how cohesive and together all the spirits guys are coming to create this united front against it, rather than oh, we'll discount, these people or whatever can't be part of this or something like that, or only focusing on craft or big or whatever. And that's going to be a big help, I think, in pushing it through. But I mean, Discus has made it a pretty big priority. I'm going to talk to Chris Swanger, Discus Cheap, soon. I'm sure we'll cover that. And I mean, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of success on it this year, but there are definitely going to be some things introduced, I think.
Yeah, got to pack your big boy lunch when you're going against the beer guys.
Well, and so that's, I guess, was kind of the caveat too, is we know it's not going to be easy because of the beer industry pushback.
Right. I'm not so sure how committed Discus is to a federal tax equivalency at this point, at least.
Yeah, I think they seem, I mean, I'm not saying they don't want that, but I think they see the benefit in going state by state.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, but there always are in this case, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why it's fun. So
True.
all right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And I'll chat at you next week. I think we definitely need to do more just editor pods. I think these are actually sometimes it can be more interesting than just having a guest. Not to disparage our guests. We'll cut that
Harry,
post.
Harry,
Yeah.
you gotta leave us with a song.
Okay. You kind of put me on the spot. What kind of song? Like a Christmas Carol or what?
I don't know, whatever you like to sing.
Okay. I normally wake up every morning. My alarm is set to Joan Jett. I'm blanking on the song, but actually it's either Joan Jett. That's like my 7 o'clock song, and which I just hit goodbye. And then like my 8:30 song is, you ready for it? I'ma survive what? I'm gonna get what? I'ma survive. I'ma survive what? Oh, I'm not gonna bless you on the internet because my mama taught me better than that. That's a little Destiny's Child for you.
Thank you.
What is a Joan Jett song you wake up to?
It's
I love rock and roll.
it's not I Love Rock and Roll, but it's equally catchy.
I love beer pubs.
I do love beer pubs.
People at the cantina got a free show, so.
Oh, I know. Everybody's staring at me right now, but fuck them.
On
All
that
right,
note.
guys. Yeah. Well, have a good weekend. Thank you for drinking beer, wine, and spirits and non-alcoholic beverages because, hey, babe, we're all in this together. We're all in the same industry now. And isn't it great? I love it. So, all right, guys, take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.